Hi and hello there everyone. This is Ashmita from Saurav Sir's classes. Now here we are going to solve a set of questions from the GATE 2023 paper, and here presenting to you all on the screen are the English questions. Okay, so let's get started. I'm starting with question 51. Choose from the following options the type of drama that is intended by the author to be read rather than to be performed. Pressurizing on reading rather than performing these type of plays. So what kind of a play are these? What kind of a play is this? So here we can call these type of plays which pressurizes mostly on reading but not on performing. We can call them closet drama. Okay, closet drama. Now what do you understand by closet drama? Closet drama refers to that kind of a play or that kind of a drama that is written to be read privately rather than performed on the stage. Okay, so it is often characterized by its poetic and literary qualities, with an emphasis on dialogues, then language, then introspective themes. Closet dramas are typically written with the intention of being appreciated as literature rather than being performed for a live audience. So it should be like appreciated or praised for the language that has been used and for the type of characters that has been used in the drama. So yeah, that's your correct answer. Let's move over to the next question. Identify the commonality shared by the authors of Mansfield Park and Middlemarch. Now, the options include both the novels were authored by men who were sent on exile. Not really. Both the novels were authored by political prisoners. No. Both the novels were written by children who were not allowed to publish their works. No, not at all. Lastly, both the novels were written by women who wrote under pseudonyms. Means in the names of male authors, they had written these two works like Mansfield Park and Middlemarch. So yes, last option is correct. Okay. So Mansfield Park, the one which I'm talking about, the name which is mentioned over here, Mansfield Park was written by Jane Austen, who published her works under her own name but initially used the pseudonym A Lady. Yes, she firstly used the name A Lady for some of her earlier works. And talking about the second name, that is Middlemarch. Middlemarch was written by George Eliot, which was the pen name of Mary Ann Evans. Okay, so George Eliot was actually the name of a man, and it was used by Mary Ann Evans. Okay, Mary Ann Evans was her real name and George Eliot was her pen name. So she chose to write under a male pseudonym to ensure that her works would be taken seriously in this man or male dominated literary world of that particular time. Okay. So these are the struggles of those women for publishing their work so that they can get noticed someday. Let's move over to the next question. It says, who said poetry makes nothing happen? Now this line was told by W.H. Auden. Okay. Next question. Which literary device does the following line employ? A timorous foe and a suspicious friend. In this line, which literary device has been used? Okay. The literary device that has been used in this sentence is actually an example of oxymoron. Okay, so go with oxymoron as your answer. So what is this oxymoron? It's a figure of speech that combines two contradictory terms or ideas. Contradictory in the sense two words which does not go together. Like for example, secret sharer. Like secret is something which we cannot share. Yet there is the other word with it, that is sharer. So secrets getting shared, these are two contradictory terms and ideas, right? So that kind of application can be related to over here. Oxymoron is a combination of two contradictory words or ideas to create a contrasting effect, we can say. Now in this case, timorous actually means fearful, okay, fearful, and foe means enemy. These two words actually create a contrasting and contradictory image, okay. So that is why we can say here oxymoron has been employed. Let's move over to the next question. Question number 55 it is, that says match the following excerpts with their authors. Okay, this is quite confusing. Anyway, let us read the lines. He rose from the table and advancing to the master, basin and spoon in hand, said, somewhat alarmed at his own temerity, please, sir, I want some more. Now, who has said this and in which of his novels? Now, this is said by Charles Dickens. Okay, so P3. Where can I get P3? I can see C option. C options showing P3. Is there any other option? Yes, A option is also showing P3. We will wait till the last moment. We have to go through the other statements also. Second one says, okay, so P3. I'm writing it down over here. P3. Next says, studies serve for delight, for ornament, and for ability. Now, this is of studies. This line is from of studies, and it was written by Francis Bacon. Okay, essays. Francis Bacon's essays. So, let us go with Q, and Francis Bacon is written in number 4. So, 4. Next, we have R, which says, trust thyself, every heart vibrates to that iron string. So this is said by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So we can say J. Yes, J. So R, yeah, RJ. And lastly, we can see, it was a bright cold day. That is what is written. It was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13. This is told by, yes, George Orwell. Here they have given the name George Orwell. So yes, let us go with number 2. So lastly, S2. Which option is going? Let us check now. It's P3, Q4, R, I or J, whatever the letter is. I only they have written. And S. Yes, A is your correct answer. A. P3, Q4, R, I or J, whatever the letter is. And S2. Now let us move over to the next question. The next question says, the 1667 edition of Paradise Lost had 10 books. How many more were added to the 1674 edition? According to this, there were 2 more books added to this edition. Okay, so it's 2. A. Next question, read the following poem and identify the appropriate options and search for certain thin-stemmed, bubble-eyed water bugs. See them perch on dry capillary legs, weightless on the ripple skin of a stream. No, not only prophets walk on water. This bug sits on a landslide of lights and drowns eyes deep into its tiny strip of sky. So we have to identify the appropriate options. What kind of poem is this? Is it in free verse form? Does it employ imagery? Does it use the iambic pentameter? Or does it juxtapose the non-human with the human? Okay, here it would be human. So your answer Now here I can see we can go with two options, that is it employs imagery, and secondly it juxtaposes the non-human with the human. Okay, because here we can see similarities being done with dry capillary legs, then ripple skin of a stream. So non-human characteristics being given to humans, or human-like characteristics given to the non-humans. So it's like that. So here definitely we can go with option D. And imagery, imagery is definitely there, so we will go with imagery also. So B and D can go. So this poem or the lines of the poem given to us uses vivid imagery to describe the water bugs and their actions. So water bugs, we are talking about over here, water bugs, and we are talking about their actions also. So it also juxtaposes the non-human, that is the water bugs, with the humans, that is prophets. Here we have talked about prophets also. So we can contrast it like that to create a contrast and to highlight the significance of the bugs' presence in the water. Okay, so it's like that. So yes, go with B and D. Next question. The next question says, which of the following employ the interior monologue? So which of them shows the interior monologue? The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, which is written by T.S. Eliot, showcases the interior monologue. Now, the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, it's known for its use of interior monologue, where the speaker's thoughts, then reflections and stream of consciousness are all presented directly to the reader. Okay, that is how you will get this the text, and it delves into the mind of the protagonist, giving insight into his thoughts, insecurities and inner conflicts. Okay, so your answer would be C. Next question. Question number 59 I am talking about. Which of the following works may be described as novels in verse? Now, novels in verse would be Aurora League by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Okay, by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Now, Aurora League by Elizabeth Barrett Browning is often considered to be a novel in verse. Now, it tells the story of the eponymous protagonist through a lengthy narrative poem. It's described, and this is what we call verse, long narrative poems. And this work combines elements of both poetry and prose. So the length will show you, or it will feel like we are reading a prose, but it's not actually prose, it's a poem exploring themes of feminism, social issues and role of women in Victorian society. Okay, that is what this Aurora League is all about. Next question. Which of the following critics belong to the deconstructionist school? Um, the among these critics, we can go with Jacques Derrida, who is widely recognized as one of the key figures of the deconstructionist school of literary criticism. And deconstruction का मतलब क्या है? Deconstruction is actually a philosophical and critical approach that seeks to challenge and destabilize the traditional notions of language, meaning and truth. And Derrida's work, we can say, including his influential work that is of grammatology, played a very significant role in developing and popularizing the deconstruction as a critical method. So while Paul D. Mann and J. Hillis Miller are associated with the deconstruction, Kate Soper, on the other hand, is not typically recognized as a deconstructionist critic. Okay, so this is absolutely wrong, but the other two can be included. Okay, Paul D. Mann and J. Hillis Miller, these can be included, but Jacques Derrida Jacques Derrida was mainly famous. Okay. Clint Brooks's definition of paradox in poetry foregrounds the following qualities. Now here the answer would be contradiction and qualification. Now Clint Brook is a prominent literary critic and a key figure in the new criticism movement, like which is discussed paradox extensively in his critical work. So according to Clint Brooks, what happens is that paradox is a significant element in poetry, right? That involves all the simultaneous presence of contradictory or conflicting ideas. Paradox being used in a poem, it actually creates tension and ambiguity, okay, and it requires the reader to reconcile or understand the opposing elements. So Brooks, like Clint Brooks, has emphasized that paradox in poetry often involves a qualified statement where the poet presents a contradictory idea but also provides clarification or qualification to resolve the apparent contradiction. Okay. Yeah, so that was it for today's class. If you want to discuss more and more in detailed manner with me, then you can join our classes. If you are preparing for any kind of government examinations, then you can definitely join our classes for taking the expert guidance of the teachers over here. And if you want to give mock tests, if you want to go for more and more doubt clearing sessions and other classes, then you can definitely join our classes. Our recorded lectures portal access is available to all the students 24/7 if they enroll with us. So yeah, that's it for today's class. If you want to know more details regarding our classes, you can just go down to the description box below. You will get every detail over there. You can call us. We are available 24/7 for helping our students. Yeah, so that's it for today's class. Let's meet once again in our next classes.